And somebody please explain to the ladies in Urdu or Gujarati if you can. And there's also I've left Gujarati literature there, how to perform the Hajj in Gujarati. So if the ladies who doesn't understand Gujarati, please pick up the leaflet. Those brothers who don't understand English, I've got Urdu and Bengali here as well, so they can pick up this after the program is finished. Mufti Asmar Saab, I'll ask Rashid Saab to give me about 20 odd minutes. I'll make some notes. But at the end, if I forget anything, please remind me and you come over or Marcy can come over, inshallah. Brothers, everybody's got the 5 days of this what to take with you. Yes? And I'm going to go through, I don't want to go through everything. I've just written everything on fast track. So inshallah, I can give the mic to Rashid Saab or our guest Mufti Asmar Saab, inshallah. Okay, but like I told you the other day, that everybody performs Hajj in a different way. The way I've done it, you will not miss your sunnah. You will do all your arkan according to the sunnah tariqah, and you will not miss anything. Also, you will have plenty of aram, and you will do plenty of ibadat as well. But it's entirely up to you, whichever the method you want to follow. Okay, so I'm going to go through some of the points what I've written at home yesterday. It's 2 pages full, but I'm very in very short form. If any one of you don't understand, I'm always in Zakaria Mosque after tomorrow. Please come and see me there or any one of us, and then I will go through it even if it's one-to-one as well. And also, whatever we teach today or in the past few days, please explain to your ladies as well at home, those ladies who doesn't understand, because I want to request that could I do it in Gujarati. But obviously it's long, to go through all the 4 or 5 sessions is going to take a long, long time. Okay. Now, before you go from here, go to Bolton Market and buy a very light, like a red or a light green or an orange color 1 meter fabric, okay? And do it in 1 inch strips of 12 inches long. Take a stapler with you or needle and thread. Buy an umbrella from Makkah, okay? For the men folk, I advise people to buy a white one because it also has an astar underneath. Yeah. So actually, the white one is going to reflect the sun as well, and it's very good. Okay. So buy a white one. The ladies can buy the umbrella, whatever the color or whatever they need to buy. And on the umbrella, I normally put staples or put these big ribbons on. This is going to be very, very important, brothers, for you. And you'll see loads of people, as I mentioned the other day, that people will be carrying lights on a stick or even a coke tin on a stick or a bottle who follow whatever the people they are following them. Otherwise, you'll get lost. If let's say, for example, there's 8 to 10 of you made a group, yeah, you've got some ladies with you as well, and then somebody's walking too fast with the umbrella, stop and look out for them, and then they come with you. Because as Brother Sohail mentioned, from Mina, coming back to Mina after you finish your Hajj, there will be no transport by the government or by the Muslims. Okay. Now I'm going to just go through. If I'm going too fast, please ask me later on. Right. So you make a sign on your umbrella or whatever you need to, entirely up to you. I do it. I normally do it on the umbrella. Okay. Now backpack, hand luggage. Don't take a really hand luggage with you because you have people walking right next to you, and then they will be banging, their feet will be banging against your hand luggage. You might injure somebody. Take a big backpack if you can. The ladies can do the same if they can carry the big backpack. I normally take a big solo, the hand luggage with a long hand strap on. So if my shoulder gets tired both sides, I just carry it by hand. But that's your decision how you do it. You want to make sure that you're not taking any hand luggage which you're carrying, which you're dragging with wheels. Otherwise, when you go in Pelting the Jamarat from Mina all 3 days, it's actually your hand luggage is start going to bang in each other's feet, your feet, or your people who are walking next to you as well. So you need to try and avoid that. Okay. Now, ID card, copy of visa, hotel address card. Each person will carry their own, especially in the 5 days of Hajj. Then one elderly person from India, he got lost. He didn't have money with him. He didn't have no ID. He didn't have nothing on him. He was lost for 3 days. And people were feeding him from 10 to 10, and he was found after 3 days. Luckily. Yes? So just imagine. Yeah? So best thing also is, let me mention something here, is stampede. One of my friends I know, his parents got killed in stampede. a few years ago, if you remember, there was a big stampede in Mina and Arafat, in Mina. When people are start running, don't run. Find the nearest wall or nearest pillar and stand on the one side. Let people run if they want to. Because if you or your ladies are not fast enough, your elderly are not fast enough, 9 times or 10, you'll just get crossed with the stampede. So there's no need for it. I was in Makkah in Haram 1 inside Baitullah, and people started running all over. So I said, what happened? He says, oh, one of the fans just fell and the people started running. There's no need. Just stand on the pillar, find a safe place. There's no need to run. Yeah, just safeguard yourself on one side. Remember this, brothers. Inshallah, it will not happen because the Saudi government is more organized after this country because quite a lot of people got killed. And I know the person who both parents were killed, and when he went, it took him a good few days, or I'd say 2 3 weeks, to find where his parents were buried. Now, if you have this ID card on each person, hotel address card, it will make it easier for the government people to find out and make, they will know who the person is. Especially the hotel card is very, very important, brothers. Money. Make sure, as I mentioned about the elderly guy didn't have no money. Every person should have own their money, minimum of 500 yards. If you want to carry 1,000 yards, that's fine. Okay. So if they do get lost, at least if they want to eat something on the way or buy a drink or something, they've got enough money for themselves. Okay. Qurbani. If you haven't organized your Qurbani before your Hajj, then if you want to do your own Qurbani, make sure for each person you take enough money to Mina with you to do your Qurbani if you want to do it yourself. If you don't want to do it yourself, then organize it with anybody, take their phone number, take their details, and tell them that once you tell them they set up on the first day, you will inform them. Yes. So once you inform them, they will say, okay, take your ihram for an hour. For safety reason, take it after about 3 hours if you can. Right. Loose money with you 10, 20 riyal, 50 riyal as a change. So if you want to buy any drinks or, at least, because if you take 200 riyals or 500 riyal notes, then they might not even have the change for you to give. Right. To avoid long queues, brothers. This is an important one. In Mina, right. Now I'm going to tell you, when you go to Mina, I'm going to start talking from the Islamic date, from the 7th of Zilhaz to the 12th and 13th of Zilhaz. Some of you will be going to Mina maybe on the night between the 7th and the 8th of Zilhaz. Some of you may be going on the 8th of the morning or before Zohar time to Mina. To stay in Mina is Sunnah from Zohar, Asr, Maghrib on the 8th, Isha, and then the 9th of Fajr, when you will be going after Isra to Arafat. Okay? Now, those brothers who are going to stay on the night of 7th or the night of the 8th, my personal views and advice is, because I've personally done it, and it's so easy. Wake up at least 1.5 hours or 2 hours before Fajr beginning time to avoid long queues in the toilets and wudu khana. Get yourself, prepare yourself with wudu khana, toilet, and then pray tahajjud, Yasin Sharif, and then go and have breakfast with your morning, so it'll be Fajr beginning time. At the Fajr beginning time, don't wait for everybody. Let's say there's 5 or 6 of you, you do your own Jamaat. If any brother say, oh, wait for me, I need to go to toilet, say no, you do it with somebody else again. Because by that time, some of you might want to go to toilet or break your wudu. So 5, 6 of you, 4 of you, just pray your Fajr Salah, you had your breakfast. It says in the Hadith, a person who prays at the beginning of the day, Yasin Sharif, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make the rest of the day easy for him. So pray your Yasin Sharif after Fajr Salah and then go to sleep. While everybody is waiting in the queue in wudu khana and toilets, you've already done your ibadat, you've done your tahajjud, you've done your tilawat, and you've also done your sunnah on the 8th, the night of the 8th and the 9th, and you all staying in Mina, which is sunnah. Yeah. So if you're going on the 7th, between the 7th and the 8th, wake up 1.5 to 2 hours early, same between the 8th and the 9th, inshallah. Yeah. So if I forget anything after when I'm finished, please let me know. Yeah. Okay. And on the 9th now, from the 9th until the 13th, what we have to do, we have to pray the takbir. 23 takbirs from the 9, 10, 11, 12, and on the 13th until the Asr. Now every Muslim person in all of the world will be praying these takbeers. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Walillahil hamd. So we have to pray 23 takbeers for 4.5 days. Okay, until the 30th of Asr. Now take Salah time from Makkah is beyond the clocks anyway. So take notice of it. What time is Fajr beginning time? What time is Ishraq? So if somebody gets a place, say for example, Fajr time ends at 6:30 and you woke up at 6 o'clock. So you still got half an hour to quickly do your wudu and pray your Fajr Salah, inshallah. Same with Zawal time. So you're not praying your Zohar before Zawal time. Right. You go to now, you inshallah on the 9th of the morning, depending on what time the coach arrive, you will be going to Arafat on the 9th. Okay. Now it is possible that Jummah day might come on that day. Now there is a difference of opinion between some of the ulama kiram. As I mentioned last time, Wadi Zabiba is called forest. I forgot, not jungle, but it's forest. But Zakallah reminded me the other day. The Wadi means Mina and all that used to be like a forest before in the olden days. But what's happened over the years, the Saudi government has built buildings and hotels and so on in Mina and on the boundary of Mina as well. So some of the ulama kiram say now, because people are living there now in Mina, so you can actually pray your Salah and your Jummah prayers. If it was a Wadi, if it was a forest before, it wasn't allowed. So there's still a difference of opinion. I didn't have an argument. I almost had a bahas with one of the Hafiz years ago. I said, look, you can pray. So it's entirely up to you. Any ulama kiram is praying the Jummah, right? You just go pray a Jummah behind them. Yes, inshallah, it will be accepted because ulama kiram, they know the Masai themselves anyway. Yes. And there is no Eid Salah for the Hajis, and you have to do your Qurbani, one that we do every day, every year here, and one for the Hajis that does. So inshallah, you go to now Arafat. Arafat, Wukufi Arafat means to stop in Arafat. Yes, the time starts from Zohar beginning time until Subha Sadiq the following day. Yes, we will probably see some of the helicopters and ambulances going through. This is why, because some of the people who are seriously ill, who want to go, if they can't even walk or go by ambulance, the Saudi government automatically will take them on a helicopter from the hospital and then just go around Arafat and then take them back. Because that is one of the first which is done for the Hajis. Yes, we have to make dua for the government as well. They try to look after all the Hajis so well, and our people don't appreciate it. Yeah. So the Wukufi Arafat means to stop in Arafat is from Zohar beginning time until the Subha Sadiq following day. Now, in Arafat, you will see again in toilets, long queues and everything. You might see what they have long pipes, they don't have jugs, the water jugs. So you will see that maybe some toilets or one or two toilets, they won't have a pipe inside. So people don't even bother. What I did, and I have done it a couple of times, just find an empty bottle from there and go into the empty toilet, take the bottle and fill it up with the tap. You understand? So you're not waiting in the queues. Okay. Now, your money belt. When you go in the toilet, people do forget their money belt in the toilet. You know the shoe board when you lock the toilet actually hang you there. So when you're coming out, you can't miss it. Yes. And also on your money belt, put your volume number and your name at the back. I was in number 26 last time I was, so I put my name at the back of the belt and then number 26. So anybody, if they are from Europe, England, they will come and give it you back. Yes. Now, in Arafat, what you do, as Mawlana mentioned, I was almost in tears when he was saying about the Fazilat of Arafat. I was almost in tears at the back. Because Arafat, that is your most ibadat day. Duas, ibadat, zikr, and everything. Do it yourself. You don't need to go and speak to other people. Just ibadat and aram. If you feel tired, go to sleep for a couple of hours, then make your duas, your ibadat, read Quran, whatever you want to do. There's some wazifas here if you want to take with you as well. Okay? Okay.
What is Gala to talk?
Okay. Now, from Arafat brothers, take 2 bottles, glass bottles of water each. and take a good strong carrier bath, one for your ladies and one for yourself, and fill up water from Arafat. And do your wudu from Arafat as well if you can. If your wudu breaks on the way or you fall asleep on the coast going from Arafat to Muzdalifah, then at least when you get down, there'll be loads of queues and there's not that many toilets in Muzdalifah as well. So if you've got your bottles with you, sit down and do your wudu with your bottles. And in Muzdalifah, you do not pray your Maghrib Salah before Isha beginning time. You pray two Salah together at Isha beginning time. Let's say if Isha beginning time is at 10 o'clock and you reach there 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning, doesn't matter. You pray your, if there's somebody saying Azan right next door or a few yards away, you don't have to give Azan, but you can give Azan if you want to. So one Azan, one Takbir, you pray your 3 Faraz of Maghrib first, then your 4 Faraz or 2 Faraz of your Isha. Then Maghrib to Sunnah, then Isha to Sunnah and 3 meter, and then you can pray, and in Afal Salah, you want. Now, when you finish your ibadah, for 1 or 2 hours, whatever, go back to the wudu khana, inshallah, be nice and quiet, fill up your bottles again. So when you wake up for Fajr, you still got your 2 bottles ready. And again, like I said, wake up 1.5 to 2 hours before. Don't forget to pick your 70 pebbles from Muzdalifah. From Muzdalifah, as Mawlana said, Z.
So when you hang your Maghrib, you don't all the Azan, just really
As Maghrib.
as
Ada.
Yes.
So you just read it as Ada, not Qaza, Maghrib.
Yeah.
And you don't need to specify Ada Qaza, you just read Maghrib. Even after the time, it will be regarded as Ada. You can't pray it in Arafah, you have to pray it in Muzdalifah.
Yeah. So we're in Muzdalifah now, Alhamdulillah. Now the Muzdalifah, Wukuf Muzdalifah, we need to stop at Muzdalifah is from Subh Sadiq, Fajr time until Ishraq time. So if you go, when you go for Ziyarat, you'll notice it says here Mina starts here, Mina ends here, Arafat starts here, Arafat ends here, Muzdalifah starts here, and Muzdalifah ends here. What I normally do, if I'm on my own with my ladies, then I go in the boundary of Mina. So when it says Muzdalifah ends here, that's on the wall there's a big sign, like a big motorway sign. It will tell you Muzdalifah ends here. So I stop here with my ladies, and then make sure you have your wudu and everything. Fajr beginning time, you pray your Fajr Salah to Sunnah and to Faraz, and then 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever you want, or even half an hour. Or if you want to stand till Ishraq in your own area, whichever you are, you can actually stay there till Ishraq time. And then the morning, they will actually take you in a bus up to Mina. Now, if you have the courage and you are brave enough to walk, pelting the Satan straight after Fajr from Muzdalifah, you can do so. Alhamdulillah, I've done it nice and quiet, cool and everything. It takes about 45 minutes to 50 minutes, depending on how fast a walker you are. So you can go direct to pelting the Satan after Fajr when you done your Wukuf Arafat. But make sure every person has their lanyard, their ID card with you. Because I was the first one in my tent. I still remember number 42. So they blocked everything, the gates and everything blocked up, and the army people were stood there. So I said, I need to go through. So he said, show me your ID card. I showed it to him at number 42. He opened the gate straight away. So every person needs to have their ID card, their visa, paper copy with them, and the hotel address card. Now, when you go to, you can go pelting the Satan. If you don't want to go pelting the Satan, you feel tired, yes, then stay in Mina, have plenty of rest, yes. When you don't have your plenty of rest, then about 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, take your ladies with you, start walking and pelt the Satan. Some of you will be staying in Azizia, which is the Satan is very, very near in Azizia. So it's entirely up to you. You can go to Azizia, to your hotel, or you can pelt the Satan and come back to Mina at night time. So you're doing your sunnah in Mina. Okay. Now, when you pelted the Satan, again, whoever you organize the Qurbani with, you phone them, and they will, when they've done your Qurbani, you can go do your halal, and your ladies can cut their hair. Until then, you are fully coming out of ihram, except for the wife and husband is not halal on each other. Remember this until you have done your Tawaf Ziyarat, brothers. Okay, now, the youngsters, I would advise when you go 5 days of Hajj, I've already in the list it mentioned take 10 of clothes, but take some extra surah with you as well, just in case you have anything. Okay? So it's happened to even elderly people as well. They have to throw the actual ihram in Muzdalifah. Yes, so you can't carry on like this. Another thing, you can have bath with plain water, but slowly, but don't have your bath, only have your bath between 10 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Otherwise, the water will be cold before those times. Be nice and warm, go in the toilets, they have showers there on top head, take all your ihram out, everything, and slowly rub your body with plain water. No soap, no shampoo, because you are still in ihram. So I've done it and you can't do it. Some people who doesn't know the masalas, even one ulama kiram, we were going in Jeddah, we stopped in the masjid on the way, and one imam, he said, oh no, you're not allowed ghusl. We didn't want even with plain water. I didn't say anything, obviously I didn't want to insult it. But you can't have, you can have ghusl or bath with plain water, because you're going to get sweaty and everything. So it's best. Now, what will happen while you're in Makkah, starting until you're coming back home to home? Some of you will have blackouts. You will feel dizzy. Yes. When you have, I've had this. You have blackouts and you feel dizzy and you think something is wrong. So I went to one of the chemists then, and Alhamdulillah, was one pharmacy from Kerala. I was very good. He says, where are you from? I said, I'm from UK. He says, you don't need anything. What you need is plenty of lemon juice, right? And then what we used to do is, I used to go with the India tent. They used to fill the actual cooler, 20-liter cooler, with loads and loads of lemons and sugar inside. So anybody who wanted a lemon drink, right, they used to go and get it. So you can do the same. Buy loads and loads of lemons from Mina, put it in one of the cooler, and take at least a kilo or 2 kilos of sugar, right, and put it in, make it into a lemon juice. And just keep on drinking that. You can actually buy yogurt and put street yogurt if you want, or you can buy the ordinary yogurt, eat plenty of yogurt, yeah. It's called laban, yeah. So you can buy that as well. Remember these brothers. Or you can have mangolas as well. Okay. Right. Now, you've got your plastic bag with you, take a black bin bag with you as well. And the Haji mat, I told you, while you're walking for 3 days, right, getting the setan from Mina, going back, coming back, you will need to pray a Salah in between, you need to eat, you need to have a drink. There's loads of gardens on the way. You can actually sit with your family on the mat. Then the black bin bag, cut it off, and you can use it at just the time when you finish, and then throw it away. These small tips are very, very useful, brothers. Yeah? Okay. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, I'm going to my notes here. Remember these, brothers, if you want to make a note of it, it's already in the kitabs as well. Pelting the big setan on the first day. The time starts from Subha Sadiq of the 10th until the Subha Sadiq of the 11th. Pelting all the 3 setan on both days, which is the 11th and the 12th. The time starts from Zohar beginning time until the following day, Subha Sadiq. Does everybody follow me? Remember this, very, very important, because we had some people, not Hanafi Masla, and they went, and a lot of them went and pelted the setan on the second day before Zohar time. So what the Saudi government did, they got one of the police cars and they started announcing that those people who pelted the setan before Zawal time, please go back again and do it again. Yes. Another thing, don't rush on the first day, second day. The beginning time starts from Fajr time. So if you haven't made it in the first hour after Fajr to Mina, pelting the setan, don't go, brothers. There'll be loads and loads of crowd. Yeah. And even on the second day, we advise people to go around 3, 4 o'clock with your ladies. Even the third day, you'll probably see 80-90% of the people will have gone. Yeah. And then you just need a rest in Mina and then leave about 3 o'clock. So by that time, most of the people who have gone will be walking comfortably, and you won't be walking in the heat as well. Inshallah. Okay. Now, does everybody remember the time? First day, pelting the setan. Yes, from Subha Sadiq of the 10th until the 11th Subha Sadiq. 11th, the 11th day and the 12th of Subha Sadiq, yes, is from Zawal to Subha Sadiq, pelting all the three Satan together. Then on the third day, yeah, which is the 12th, from Zawal until the Subha Sadiq of the 13th. Now, when you pelting the Satan, the first day, you don't make dua when you pelting the Satan on the first day. But on the second and third day, when you pelted the small Satan, when you pelted it, you come out, make dua. Medium Satan, pelt him, and then make dua. On the third Satan, when you pelt him, you don't make dua. Remember this. On the first day, when you pelted the Satan with the first stone, we stop praying, not beg. Does everybody understand? Am I going too fast?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Any questions?
Masla, can you just repeat that again, please? The pelting of the stones.
The pattern, I'll repeat it again. Any other questions?
If after Subha Sadiq you're in Mina, then you have to cut the three shaitan off
Which day?
on the second, third day.
On this, so basically 10th is Zil Hijjah. Yeah.
After the big one.
After the 10th is the 11th of Zil Hijjah and 12th of Zil Hijjah. So you're asking about 11th and 12th of Zil Hijjah.
Yeah.
The pelting of the shaitan, the time starts after Zohar beginning time.
Yeah. If you're still in Mina after Zohar beginning time, you have to cut the three.
So every Haji has to pelt the shaitan between Zohar beginning time and next day Subha Sadiq, no matter where you are. Yeah. Some of you might be in your hotel in Aziziyah. Some of you might have gone for the Tawaf in Makkah. Some of you might be in Mina. Every single Haji, it is wajib that on the 11th and on the 12th, you pelt the shaitan. The time begins after Zohar beginning time. Our advice to you would be to avoid. That's a busy period and it'll be very hot. Even if you leave immediately after Asr from your Europa tents, or this HAJJ, that's very close. You can still easily do your Ramy. Yeah, pelting. So it doesn't matter where you are, everybody has to do it. Say, for example, you're in Makkah, you went for your Tawaf and you left after Zohar and you left there after Asr. If you leave Makkah after Asr, you won't make it to pelting before Maghrib. You get stuck in traffic. You just have to get off at some point and then walk it. Yeah, and you'll probably get there at Isha time. Before there's, in the Kitabs, etc., it says after Maghrib, it is makruh, it is disliked. You should try to make an effort to get there before Maghrib. But if for some reason you get delayed, etc., don't worry too much about it. Yes? Yes. Depending on where you go from, you will end up at one of the 7 tiers, floors, levels of pelting. Right. Any? Yeah.
When does it become compulsory that you have to stay for the 13th day?
When we come to the 13th. We've not reached the 13th yet. Yeah, so when we'll come there, yeah, you're jumping very far. People will just get a bit confused. We're still getting used to the 11 and the 12, that being the second and the third day. Right. Once again, we're just going to go through the presentation. Right? So from the 5 days of Hajj. So the first day was 8. The second day was 9, the day of Arafat. Yeah? And the third day was the 10th, the day of the Eid. The day you came back to Mina. The day you had your Qurbani and first you did your pelting of just the big shaitan, and then you had your Qurbani then, and then maybe you've taken your ihram by now. Yeah, so different people will take off their ihram in different times and etc. Yeah. It has to be close to the heart. So everybody clear. Let's start with the 10th of Dhul Hijjah. Yeah, everything has to be done in order. That will be maybe the busiest day. You've got 3 things to do. After that, it becomes a bit easy. But that doesn't mean the Hajj is finished. Yeah? And then normally a lot of people try to spend a lot of time in Aziziyah, etc. Remember, spend as much time as possible, especially the nights in Mina. That's a sunnah. That's what the Prophet ﷺ did. In the Hanafi madhab, there's more flexibility. So in Hanafi madhab, out of all the nights, so on the between the 8th and the 9th, you spent in Mina, and then between 10, 11, 12, all the nights put together, it is sunnat mu'akkada, very strong. You have to spend one night in the sunnat mu'akkada wajib is one out of all the 4 nights in Hanafi madhab. I think it's sunnat mu'akkada. Sorry, no, it's sunnat mu'akkada. Yeah, but in other madhabs, it is wajib and necessary to spend the nights in Mina. Yeah, so Hanafi is a bit, madhab is a bit lenient, and unfortunately, because of that, many of our Hanafis they take a bit of advantage and then they stay in Aziziyah, they stay in Makkah, etc. But what you do not understand is by doing that, somebody's poorly, somebody's ill, somebody's elderly, somebody's a leg has swollen up, etc. Somebody can't bear it anymore. Fine. But young people, etc., you should spend the night in Mina. The night. All right. Later you can go to Makkah, but then leave before after Asr. Yeah. Because it's Sunnah. And those nights are very, very valuable. The time and the place. In Mecca, we get a 500 salat reward. One salat, minimum 500. When you're in Mina, and because of Hajj, you still get that. And much, much more. And because you restrict it because of your Hajj, you get all the reward and all the virtues on all the faza'il of Kaaba. But you won't get the sunnah of the Prophet in Makkah, in Aziziyah, or in the Kaaba to spend the night in Mina. These are the remaining 2-3 nights that you will not get very easily again in your life. Yeah? All you have to do is just sit, relax, and do ibadah, and stay away from Buddha. That's all you've got to do. But it's an opportunity for du'as to be accepted. It's the best place, one of the best places to recite takbir. When the Sahaba used to recite takbir, the whole of Mina used to echo with takbir. Hazrat Umar used to lead the takbir. وَيَرْتَجُّ مِنَا تَكْبِيرًا. The whole of Mina would echo with takbir in the days of Mina. It is the time to connect with Allah after Hajj. And now things have settled. You've come back to a bit of normality. Now you talk with Allah, you make sure that your intentions are in place, and you may make sure that you want to be who you want to be now. Try not to miss the nights of Mina from Mina, inshallah. And which are these nights? The night between the 10th and the 11th. So day 4, are we all clear about day 3? Day 4. Not to forget, sometime after Muzdalifah, you've got to do your Tawaf ziyarah. Tawaf ifadah. Yeah, which is one of the 4. Did we talk about Tawaf? Did we explain Tawaf? Did we talk about it in detail?
We'll actually combine it with Iran as well, because there'll be some doing Ifrad, some doing Iran.
Now, is there anybody going to do Ifrad? Maybe one person. All right. Anybody Quran? Maybe 2 people, 3 people. All right. So you didn't touch too much on Quran, but don't forget for Quran, you've got to do your full Umrah first. If you can, and you should make an attempt to also do Tawaf Qudum, Ifrad as well. Tawaf Qudum is Sunnah. Tawaf is an extra Tawaf just for Quran and just for Ifrad. And it's Sunnah to do that Tawaf. You can do your Quran Umrah and do the Tawaf if you want to. You can do just the Tawaf and then do your Umrah either way. For Ifrad only, you don't have to do Umrah. So if you can go for Tawaf, go and do your Tawaf. If you get shipped straight to Azizia and within a few hours straight into Mina, then don't worry, it's Sunnah. There's no implication if it's not done. Yeah? Yeah. Now with Qiran, you will be doing your full Umrah before Hajj. Stay in the Ihram. You won't be shaving your cutting your head. Stay in your Ihram and go straight into Hajj with that Ihram. Yeah? But Ifrad, you will put on your Ihram. If you get the chance, you do your Tawaf Qudum. Yes? And then, with that same Ihram, obviously, you go into Hajj. With that Ihram, you will come into Miqat, Azizia, or whatever, and then maybe from Azizia go. I think most probably you'll go Azizia, and from Azizia, you'll go into Mina. You might not get the chance, and if you've not been before, etc., on your own, it's very risky to try and go to Makkah, etc. So you might miss Tawaf Qudum. Just one thing additional, if I hope I don't confuse you, there's one sa'i, after Tawaf Ziyarah, there's one sa'i which is a Hajj sa'i, which is everybody has to do. Yes? If say for example you go for your Tawaf Qudum and you want to do your Tawaf, your Hajj sa'i with that Tawaf, you can. Yes? And then you don't have to do it. Better to do it after your Tawaf is there. If you want to do it in advance, you can. Same when you do your Tawaf Qudum in Qiran, yeah? If you do your Tawaf Qudum and after that Tawaf Qudum, you want to do your Hajj Sa'i in advance, you can. It's better to do it later, but then you can do it in advance. Obviously, later will be more difficult, you will be more tired, Tawaf will be longer, and you'll be tired from Hajj. On a separate note, if somebody is in a 5-star package, living there in the towers or whatever, etc., and on the edge, you put on your ihram, etc. If you want to do your Hajj Sa'i in advance, you can, on the condition that you put on your ihram for Hajj and you do a nafil tawaf with it. Yes, so you do a nafil tawaf and you do your Hajj Sa'i. You can't do it in advance. Some people do it in advance. If you're thinking of that, then you can ask us later if you don't understand that. Yes, anyway, coming back to the fourth day. Yeah, most of you, inshallah, will be in Mina. And my advice to you, do not go after Zohar. It will be very, very hot. Yeah, maybe you can even just before Asr, half an hour before Asr, leave the Asr en route and go for pelting, and you will pelt all 3 shaitan. We've done the practical demo, so we'll done pelting all 3. All right. So do you want to do it again?
We've not done day home or something. Not done day home.
All right. So day 2 pelting. When you come from Mina, from the Mina side, the small comes first, then the middle, and then the largest. Yes? Now, say for example, say that is Mina. I'm just going to take this off. Say for example, that is Mina. Yeah, that is Mina and that is Makkah.
Okay.
Yeah. So behind me over here, the ladies section, that's Mina. So you'll come, brothers and sisters, you'll come walking this way. Yeah. So you'll come from here walking. Yeah. Now everybody will come walking from here, and everybody will crowd here when you see them and start pelting from here. If it's very busy, try to avoid to go at a busy time. If you go about an hour before Maghrib, it won't be that busy. If it's very busy, then what you do, rather than here, you go past it, yes, and go to a side, over here or over there. Get the group together. This very busy men folk can go and do their pelting and come back here. There's pillars with numbers. You can have a location, and then you can take the sisters. So go past it, and to do it from this side will be much easier than the run of flow. Is that clear? Same with here. Once they've done this one, Everybody will go to this one from here. And it'll all be busy this area. So you just go past it. If you need to gather, get your thoughts together, get your stones together, etc., and leave the ladies. And just so busy, the only men want to do it first. If it's busy, only men do it first. Then you go to the sisters and mothers, and then you bring them. So you basically shelter them, the pebbles don't land on their head, etc. And same with the big one. Go past it, look for an area. Yeah. Just watch, observe, wait, and observe, like Hazrat said. Just assess the situation. Sometimes you don't go with the flow, sometimes you go against the flow. Is that clear? Now, this will happen on 2 days, the 11th and the 12th. The 12th, for 95, 96% of the Hajis, will be the final one. And then you'll be leaving Mina. Everybody will be wanting to do it immediately after Zohar and go to Mina. Some people might even have a flight to catch in the night, etc., etc. And some people don't have hotels, they won't go to Jeddah, Riyadh. So everybody will be in a rush. Our advice to you would be, do not go before Asr. It is fatal and you can end up Shaheed. That's where all the fatalities happen. On the last day after Zohar immediately. And people even started before Zohar. And if you've been given a time, go to according to that time. Yeah? Do not rush it on the last day. Most probably, if you've got a hotel in Makkah, your group will take your luggage. Do not forget, you can't go to the Jamarat with backpacks on the last day. The police will stop you, say, leave your bags here, go there, come back and take it. There's no chance you're going to be coming back. It'll be a one-way system, you won't be able to come back and take it. On the last day, you can't take your rucksacks, backpacks to the Jamarat, remember that. Unless it changes this year, but chances are very slim.
I think also to bear in mind that, on the final day before Zawal, they will not let you anywhere near the Jamarat in the first place. So they make you hold, and that's where there'll be a surge.
Yeah. So the army will cordon it off until the whole beginning time. And sometimes it gets mad as well. And some people don't listen. Some people manage to make it through other routes, etc., etc. So it's panic, it's mayhem, avoid it. Yeah. So these 2 days, the 11th and the 12th of Dhul Hijjah, President is going to give you a quick demonstration, of pelting the shaitan. 7, 7, 7.
Brothers,
We've already mentioned, whenever there's another pelting, you stand and make dua. So first and second, you make dua. And for dua, you face towards Qibla. Everybody will be facing towards Qibla. That's another sunnah. People just go there. No. Take the time, make dua, give it importance. And it has to be at least 5, 10, 15 minutes dua. Yeah, it's sunnah. We've only got a few things now remaining as part of your Hajj. Helping and dua opportunities are very few now. Do not miss out on them dua opportunities. Yeah,
let's say there's 4 of you, 4 gents, 4 ladies, or 2 gents and 2 ladies. So the first couple will go and pelt the setan, and the other couple will stay there with your sign or umbrella, whatever, one side, leave your hand luggage there. And brothers, like I said, wait, watch and observe. I've done it with my ladies, not a problem at all. Let's say, for example, the setan parapet wall is here, and you wait right at the back, and then slowly make your way and be brave, and slowly with your ladies go up to the parapet wall if you can. I've done it, and just tell the setan, go up to the, don't be scared. Now on the second day and third day, be careful. You will have, maybe some of you will have come out in your ihram, and you will have your ordinary clothes. Please be careful of the pickpockets. Because somebody, I put a big carrier bag in my pocket, said I couldn't get in. But even though he thought I had loads of stuff in my, he put his hand in my pocket. I realized, I tried to grab hold of his hand. There was so much crowd at the back, I lost him. So be careful of your pickpockets, especially even your money belt. If you best thing, put your money here, safety pin. They can't touch you. Yeah. Anyway, inshallah, you'll go and get the setan.
Sorry to interrupt you. Just one thing, very important we forgot to mention. every single person here, tell them to carry or pick extra stones. Because everybody or somebody within a group will forget their stones or lose their stones.
Yes.
They'll get to Jamarat, they won't have the stones. Every single year, we have to go to Jamarat with extra stones. Very important. Extra stones.
Yes, yes. So we said pick 70 and put 10, only 10 in your hand, leave the rest in your bag. So you can, if you miscount, you know you have 10 in your hands. And then walk to the parapet wall or wherever you find it easy, as Mawlana explained. And then you pray the dua. And then in Urdu it says, Ya Allah, मैं तुझे खुश करने के लिए और शैतान को जलील करने के लिए काम करता हूँ. ये आप दुआ पढ़ लो और फिर बिस्मिल्लाहि अल्लाहु अकबर. Bismillahi Allahu Akbar. Bismillahi Allahu Akbar. And you felt the 7 stone here. Now, if you far away from the parapet wall, you watch your stone. Yeah, because sometimes if somebody pushes you from the back and it's gone out, you don't know. So keep your eyes on the stone all the way. Unless you are right near the parapet wall, and you can just throw it inside. Then you make once you've done this, you make dua, as Mawlana said, 5-10 minutes, whatever you want. You put the second medium satan exactly the same way, 10 stones, and the other couple will come back. You go and wait for them and then collect them. Yeah.
If it's not busy, yeah. Don't forget, it's a 7-tier system, 7 floors. So they've made it in a way that it all funnels down up to where it's supposed to land. So the screen, you don't have to hit that screen. Obviously, when you're far away, it just gives you an idea where to target. If, say, for example, you hit the screen, would that be counted?
No.
If it hits the screen and falls out, it's not counted because it doesn't reach that ground low section where it's supposed to. So what's important? And it's not busy, then you just go close by. Yeah, Bismillah Allahu Akbar. Say, for example, you go close by, Bismillah Allahu Akbar, and you just put it inside. Yeah, you just put it inside. Bismillah Allahu Akbar. You might even reach right to the edge, where the Haji is looking. And then you just say Bismillah Allahu Akbar, put it inside. You don't need to hit the screen. Yeah. So half an hour before Maghrib, it'll be basically like this. And can you see everybody's on one side? Yeah, everybody's on this side. Then you go to this side where the people are not there. Can you see this side will be empty? They're coming from that side, so everybody's doing it from that side. Yeah. If you're far away, then this is just to indicate the screen, the plasma screen now is just to indicate where your pebble has to go. And just keep an eye on it. Is it clear, all 3? Yeah. So this will happen on the 10th and 11th. Sorry, this will happen on the 11th and the 12th. Testing. Yeah, come on.
Two quick questions, please. Does it have to be in order, small, medium, and big?
Yeah. If for some reason you get it mixed up, etc., yeah, it will usually have to do it again. In Turkey, there's a Turkey. We'll have to look at that. Yeah, but it'll be very difficult. There's huge signs there. Yeah, small Jamarat.
Well, you can't be seen
And
it's too far away. You can't be seen.
And you always start from small. And yeah.
And Masai row is a big, massive corridor. The only way you would get it wrong is if you walk past Japan. And Japan's that big, okay? You have to be either looking the wrong way or the way was missing.
And the second question was, alhamdulillah, I'm right-handed, but for the left-handed people, do they have to use their right hand as well?
If they can, if you can't and you struggle in longer, it's better to use the left than miss it. But the sunnah is right hand. So try and practice it now on yourself. You're not really It's not difficult. Yes. Right. This is done now. Any questions in regards to Jamarat? Now, during this period, after Muzdalifah, till the Maghrib of the 13th, you've got to do your Tawaf Ziyarat. So everybody has to do Tawaf Ziyarat. If any of the sisters start their period, you still got to do Tawaf Ziyarat. Yes, it's a bit late, but normally we plan the Hajj in a way that we have more days after Hajj, just in case that happens. But then if that happens, yeah, you have one option, which is that you leave and you book your ticket and you come back after your period are finished, or you stay there. Yeah. But don't forget, until that Tawaf Ziyarat is not done, you can't have any intimate relationship.
No, which day is Sunnah? Which day is Sunnah?
Which day is a Sunnah? Sunnah is so right. So basically, this Tawaf Ziyarat means it's like. So some people rush it with Tawaf Ziyarat. Some people might even go from Muzdalifah and do Tawaf Ziyarat first. Fine, technically it's fine. But the whole idea is that on the 10th, you do all three things and your Tawaf before nightfall. That's the Sunnah.
We just out with the Ihram when you did it.
So do all the three things first and then Tawaf Ziyarat. The idea of Tawaf Ziyarat is that you finish your Hajj, you finish from Ihram, which is like an untidy state and etc. etc. You've had your shower, you've put on new clothing, you feel fresh and ready to do the ziyarat of Allah, which on earth is the ziyarat of His house. And you should be able to feel that, you should be able to sense that. And that is one of the reasons why when you go to Arafat, they change the gilaf of the Kaaba, so when you come back, everything is new. So you want to come back, everything is done, and in normal clothing, and you should feel that freshness, pure sense of purity, transformation, and eagerness. That when we enter into Jannah, the first person to be given clothing will be Hazrat Ibrahim, and then everybody else, special clothing, so normal, special, good clothing, inshallah, and you enjoy the Tawaf with that sense, with that understanding. The Prophet ﷺ did it on the first day, that's the Sunnah, but it's not, like say for example, to stay in Mina, it's not that, it's that obviously at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, there's people, they managed to do it. Yeah, so whenever you can do it. Myself, what I do, if I can, is not on the first night, but on the second night. So after the 10th, we've got the night between the 10th and the 11th, and then we've got a night between the 11th and the 12th. On that night, the last night, round about the Hajj time, just before Fajr, most of my times in Hajj, just before Fajr, when we spent most of the night in Mina, just before the Hajj time, I start making my way to Makkah. Yeah, and then you reach there just before Fajr, slightly before, etc. Yeah, so you spend the night in Mina, you're on your way, and by the time you get there, people are still in Mina. That's just before Fajr is empty, just after Fajr is a bit quiet as well, but not as much as before. And then I normally do my Tawaf. I had a good rest, etc. And I'm fresh for it as well, and it's less busier. It's more busier on day one, and then day two, and then night. There's less people doing it at night because people are in here. Tawaf Ziyarat is fun. You have to do it. Every single person for your Hajj, there's one Tawaf, which is Tawaf Ziyarat. Without Tawaf Ziyarat, Hajj is not complete, and the husband and wife do not become halal for one another. You have to think and go with the group and consensus and agreement, and then do your Tawaf Ziyarat. You need wuzu, do not forget. If you get that at a busy time, one round can take you like 40 minutes, 50 minutes. The whole Tawaf can take like 2 to 3 hours. Once you've done your Tawaf, it will be in normal clothing, so you don't have istiba, you don't have ramal to do. You do your Tawaf, 2 rakats, make sure you maintain wuzu throughout the Tawaf. Once you've done that, then you do your Hajj Sa'i, just like you did for Umrah. Tawaf is done, Sa'i is done, both Tawaf is fard, Sa'i is wajib, they both related to your Hajj. Once you've done that, you go back to Mina, just finish off the pelting for the 2 days, and then basically your Hajj is done. The only thing that you have left after that is before you go back home, you have to do Tawaf al-Wida, farewell Tawaf, which is wajib. For those sisters who after Tawaf Ziyarat, if your periods etc. start, you don't have to do Tawaf Wida. Even men folk, after your Hajj, you were in Makkah, you did one Nafal Tawaf, and then for some reason you just suddenly have to leave, didn't have the chance to do your Tawaf Wida, farewell Tawaf, then that Nafal Tawaf will replace your Tawaf Wida. It's always better, the emotions and the regret that you leave in Makkah now to do that Tawaf, it has a special effect. When you make loads of dua, that Ya Allah, bring me back again, inshallah. Yeah?
2 minutes left for me.
2 minutes left for Maghrib, so.
When you're doing Tawaf with that, say you've got 6 days in Makkah after Hajj, then you want to go Medina and then come back to Makkah. You have to do your Tawaf with that before you go to Medina.
Before you go to Medina, get the Tawaf with that. Because there's no guarantee of anything can happen. But you come to then you can do it again. Just before I give it to Mufti Saab, after Namaz, come back quick, and we want to finish up the 5 days of Hajj. And we've also got some ihram and some water bottles. So we got some goodies for you.
Let's talk, sir. It's
Brothers, after Maghrib, there's a couple of things we need to, it's very, very important that we go through the very important aspects of the 5 days. Now, we have covered, but we need to know that you understand it. So, make it a little bit interactive after Maghrib, so we can ask you them questions. Do you understand?
Just a couple of clarification points and some questions. There's one question the brother asked Mawlana Saib KP. So he mentioned is the order of the Jamarat. So Jazakumullah khairan, he gave us an opportunity to learn something new. The order is similar.
These are the questions.
Yeah, I was going to explain it just in case you can't read my writing.
Sisters, these are the questions. They wanted it in writing, so it's in writing. Is that sufficient?
So the order between the Jamarat themselves is Sunnah. Okay, so if you ended up doing the middle instead of the first, you lost a Sunnah, but there's no penalty. Not that you would ever do that, just to finish answering that question. Also, one of Rashid Saab at the beginning, he mentioned something about the Qarin people that are doing the Quran, just in case you didn't understand it, because now you've got a bit of a knowledge base. If you want to do your sa'i before Hajj, you effectively need to do 2 umrahs. Okay? You can't do the first umrah and pretend that that sa'i is the sa'i for Hajj, okay, which is might come across. So you need to do your, as a Qiran al-Qarin, you're going to come to Makkah al-Mukarramah, you're going to do your first umrah, you're not going to shave your head, you're going to stay in ihram. If you feel okay the next day, you can do another tawaf, yes, tawaf al-Qudum, and then add on your sa'i for Hajj. So you don't need to do it at the end of Hajj. Okay? Understood that Masla? Third thing, and I'll finish on this. Don't really have much time to go through some of the spiritual components, but was it one the people down? Okay, then just see Tawaf. When the brother asked, "What's the Sunnah?" Okay, the Sunnah of Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the 10th, is to do his pelting, his animal sacrifice, his head shaving, and his Tawaf ziyarah, all by Zohar time. Okay, the scholars differ whether Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam prayed his Zohar Salah either in Haram or on the way back from Haram or in Mina. The reality is we can't achieve that today because there's 1 million, 2 million, 3 million more people, and there's blockades. But what you can do is follow the tartib of the Sunnah. Okay, one tartib will already be told in the order that I said it. Okay, that's wajib according to the position. And what Mawlana Rashid Saab mentioned about doing your tawaf ziyarah at the end. Okay, it's quite pertinent if you match up with the hadith. The hadith mentioned that when somebody effectively finished most of the important arkan of their Hajj, they've done their pelting on the first day, they've shaved their hair, so it's animal sacrifice, then they've shaved their head. The angels come to you, they come and they put their hands, this is what hadith describes, between the shoulders of the person that's performing tawaf ziyarah, and they say, I'm paraphrasing, so you know what, this is now your new beginning, okay, because you're finally in your own clothes, okay, you're in your own clothes, this is now your new beginning. So it's always nice if you honor that spiritual aspect. And finally, about returning back to Mina, the scholars mention various things about why is Mina called Mina and why is Arafat called Arafat, and why is this, that. One of the reasons for Tawaf ziyarah being called Tawaf ziyarah, everybody knows what ziyarah means, everybody knows what ziyarah means now. What does ziyarah mean? Ziyarah, मैं आपकी ज़ियारत के लिए आऊँगा. Seeing, yeah, visiting, yeah. Yeah, that's why nowadays, before they used to call us HAJJ, now the army guys, what do they shout? Ya Zair, okay, tourist, essentially you can translate it tourist. So one of the reasons why Tawaf ziyarah is for Tawaf ziyarah is because you're supposed to give it a visit and you're supposed to go back to Mina. Okay. Take it. So just remember that point. Jazakumullah khairan.
Okay, brothers, it's as Mufti Saab just said, a lot of you, alhamdulillah, have started to build a bit of a knowledge base and understanding. A lot of you have been on your courses. A lot of you understand how your packages are going to work. And over the last couple of weeks, I'm coming to the program and reading around everything you've heard. You'll have a little bit of an inclination as to exactly what's going to happen when you get there. So before we start and getting and ascertain, again, understanding of what you guys actually know, it's very important for us to know that you understand what's going on, because we could just go on and talk and talk and talk. If you don't understand all aspects of what we've spoken about so far, it's going to be wasted. So we're going to try and make this a little bit interactive and try and get an understanding of what you guys know, and if you don't, we can fill in the gaps. Now, we know there's so many different packages, we know there's so many different itineraries, the way things will work, so we'll try and work through that. Now, just before Maghrib, Fazal Muhammad said that, and Mawlana Rashid said as well, the 10th of Hajj, that is the business part of Hajj. I always say this. It's simply because it's a very taxing, physically draining, and physically, mentally draining day. It is very, very tiring. And in amongst all of that, you've got so many different things to do. For example, you've got your Ramy, then you've got your Qurbani, you've got your shaving, and then you've got to get changed, or shower change, and you Tawaf Ziyarah. Whether you do it all in the same day, it's going to be purely circumstantial. And I've used this example many times. We've done Tawaf Ziyarah on the 10th, we've done it on the 11th, we've done it on the 12th as well. It's halat permitting. If you feel you're not in a position where the health-wise, or your companions-wise, or your family dynamic-wise, you cannot do the Tawaf Ziyarah on the 10th, then it's really not the end of the world. So you could do it the next day or the day after. We've done all this. Mufti Saab will tell you over the years. We're going to come back in a few moments to the type of Hajj as well. So please don't be too bogged down about everybody else doing certain arkan on the 10th. You could postpone a lot of those until later on, until you're in a position to do so. It might work in your favor to work backwards as well. So, okay, shall I just go to Haram first and then come back and then do the Ramy and then do Tawaf Ziyarah? In amongst that as well, you've got the Sa'i that we spoke about as well. And this revolves around, a lot of it revolves around your intention of your Hajj in the first place, okay? So we already know that there's only a handful of you that will be coming to Mina just the night, sorry, coming to Makkah just the night before Hajj. So you're literally on the verge of going to Hajj, Mina, you'll be arriving to Makkah. So you've got to decide what niyat am I going to do, or what Hajj am I going to do. So just a show of hands, does everybody understand? And just be honest. Honesty is very important, that we're wrong and we put it right rather than just kidding ourselves, okay? Show of hands. Do you know what Hajj you'll be doing, or what intention you think you're going to do? Just give me a show of hands so I understand. So alhamdulillah, you all pretty much know what you're going to be doing. Now, some of you I know are a bit unsure, okay? So I was speaking to Mufti Saab as well, and there are a handful of you, I'll mention again the Sky package, the 17-day package, you'll be arriving literally on the cusp of Hajj. So you're not too sure whether you want to do Qiran, or whether you want to do Tamattu, or indeed you want to do Ifrad. Ifrad is one a lot of you don't actually consider, because we think, oh, I don't need to do Ifrad because I'm not going to do Qurbani, but actually it might be the right thing for you. So this is how I would think. If I've come to with my family, this is my first Hajj, and my group said, right, we're going to Makkah now, and tomorrow morning is going to be the start of Hajj, and I've just come to Makkah for the very first time. What am I going to do? Am I going to do my Umrah? And after I've done my Umrah, am I going to come out of my Umrah to then shower, shave, shower, change, get back into another Ihram for Hajj, to then get ready for Hajj? It's going to be logistically difficult, and it's going to be tiring for you as well. So that's one part. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just giving you an option, something to consider. Second, shall we just come in our Hajj Ihram from Medina and just do Qiran? This is your first Hajj. This is your first Umrah. Are you going to be in a position physically to do what Mufti Saab just said, 2 Umrahs effectively? Yeah, because you'll be doing your arrival Tawaf, you're going to be the Sa'i associated with it, then you'll be doing your Qudum, and then you'll be doing your Sa'i for Hajj, or Tawaf Ziyarah. Does that make sense? Honestly, just does it make sense? That makes sense. Okay, so you sort of understand. Who doesn't understand that, what I just said? Just be honest, honestly. Who doesn't understand what I just said? You don't understand. Which group are you with?
I'm going Medina first.
Don't worry about it. Mufti Saab, Mawlana will fill you in. You just follow him. Now, do not problem. You have good support. So if you're not too sure about your knee, if you're not too sure about your knee or your Hajj, then the group that will with you will guide you. If you're indifferent, you think I'm not too close. What's easiest for me and what's comfortable for me and like to do, then that'll happen for you. Don't worry about it. So, Kiran, effectively, think about what's going to happen here. You've done 2 tawafs, you've done 2 sayyis. That's close to 8 miles already. And then you've got to get to Mina. And then you've got next day Arafat. And then you've got the 26 miles on the 10th. By the way, pretty much everybody does 26 miles because we've worked it out going back and forth. If you're on foot, everybody does 26 miles minimum on the 10th of Zilhaj. So remember, all of these distances that you've got to cover, based your intention on your circumstances. Above on top of all of this, it's extremely hot. You don't know how conditioned you are for the heat, and you don't know how conditioned your families are going to be in the heat. And in amongst all of that, any unforeseen circumstances. These are the little things you've got to have consideration for. Very, very important, okay? So what's left now for the people who will be coming very, very last minute? Ifrad. Suppose you're in Medina, I'm going to go to Makkah now, I'm going to perform my Hajj. So Mufti Siraj who was yesterday, he said to her, I think our Mashura, the best thing is, those who are going to Makkah straight to and performing Hajj from Medina for the first time, Ifrad will be the best option for you. Because you'll be in your Hajj Ihram, all you'll be doing is arriving, and is there the need to do the Qudum as well straight to Sunnah? The Sunnah is to perform Tawaf, and then do the Sa'i as well, if you want to. If you don't want to do that, just come in your Hajj Ihram and just go to sleep until your porch. You can do that. You could do your Umrah later on after Hajj if you want to. So that is the only aspect of the Hajj we've not mentioned so far. The Ifrad, for those, this is only for those who are coming at the very last minute before Hajj and do not have time for anything. So we did this in 2022, right? Yeah, we literally had normal clothes, we just put our ihram on, went in, did our Qudum, did our Sa'i, and then we were ready for Hajj. So this is an option for you. Does that make sense for everybody? Does anybody have any questions before I ask you questions about your Hajj?
And the Sa'i for Hajj. Don't have to do Sa'i for Hajj.
You could do it later.
You could do it later.
Yeah.
You know, for Tawaf, for Qiran, you know the Hajj Sa'i, you don't have to do it in advance. So if you're doing Qiran, you just do your Umrah, try and get your Tawaf Qudum, that is Sunnah. If you can't, don't worry. You don't have to do your Hajj Sa'i in advance. You don't have to.
I got the 2.5 miles. If you want to do an extra 2.5 miles, by all means.
Can you, for Tamattu, can you do your Hajj Sa'i before?
Yeah, of course. Because that, remember,
With the conditions.
You have to do the Tawaf first to then do the Sa'i. The Sa'i can't be done without a Tawaf.
And Hajj Ihram.
Cannot be done.
So basically, say on the 8th, before you go to Mina, you want to do your Sa'i for Hajj in advance. You have to put on your Hajj Ihram. You have to put on your Hajj Ihram, and you have to do one Nafal Tawaf extra in order to do the Sa'i. You can do that. Normally, people do that on the 8th during the day. So, on the 7th during the day. The 8th you'll be in Mina. Yeah? And if you think you've got it in you, that you can do it on the 6th and keep it. Once you put the Ihram on, you can't take it off. You can even do it on the 6th. Because obviously 6th will be less busier than the 7th. Is that clear?
Also,
The sunnah way is to do that Sa'i after your Tawaf is out. But you can do it in advance if you want to.
so majority of you, we know, are going to be doing Tamattu, because I can see by the faces, you know what? I get all of this, Tamattu is for me. Alhamdulillah, that's fine. Some of you who are hardened, yeah,
No, Hajj. I'm going to be going for Kiran, which alhamdulillah is fine. And for those who are going to be coming last minute and panicking, before you get into, a punch up with the other half, you're going to be thinking, do you know what? I'll just do my ifrad and save £165. That's how you think. That's how our minds work.
What, Qurbani 165? I'm going to do Tawaf, Ifrah 10 days before.
Does everything make sense? So what we've done is we bought the 3 different intentions together based on what your packages allow. It used to be having the luxury of doing whichever Hajj you wanted to, but now the packages are geared in such a way you have to work around the package rather than the package working around the type of Hajj. It's the halat of today, unfortunately. But we're hoping that we filled in those little gaps where you're unsure. Now remember, you've still got another 4 weeks to think about this. 4 weeks to think about it. You'll do more reading, more courses, and there's some more gaps here and there that'll get filled in. Like I said, you've been on many courses now. Things are starting to make a lot more sense. Things are starting, you can picture what's going on. So based on that, you can make your decision at the very last moment if you want to, inshallah. So don't worry about that. Okay? So, one question for you. I've done my Kiran, okay? I've done my Kiran, and I'm doing Kiran. So I've done my first Umrah, and how soon before I can come out of my Ihram can I shave my head?
The 10th. You don't shave your head.
Who said the 10th? You don't shave your head. Just a test. Remember, this is not to see how much you know how English. It's just a gauge of understanding. That's all it is. We'd rather be wrong now and we get it right and put it right for everybody. So for all of you, for Tamattu, for example, you've just done your night in Muzdalifah, okay? And you want to head towards Jamarat to do your Ramy, okay? You've done that, but for some strange reason, your Qurbani has not been done yet. So you're not too sure what to do now. What are your options? Wait, how many of you said wait before coming out of Ihram? How many of you would actually just say, okay, I'm going to head towards Haram and get my Tawaf Ziyarat done? You wouldn't? This is an option, you know. One thing we didn't say in the program. Remember what we said? Pass. We said pelting, animal sacrifice, shaving. It has to be in order. You could do your Ramy if your Qurbani is not done, but there's a circumstances it's not been done and you're free and you're full of energy. You want to get your Tawaf Ziyarat done, you can do that. That order is separate to the pelting, animal sacrifice, and the shaving. So remember that. These are all little tips you have that you could do that. I know Mawlana said that it's better to shave, shower, change, and going fresh close to do Tawaf Ziyarat. What do we say? Halat, circumstances permitting, if you need to, you can do that as well. So these are little things about your Hajj you want to think about where you can fill in. If you're not too sure, just ask us, inshallah, we'll fill in the gap. There's a way around everything. And when you've got Mufti Asmar with you, trust me, it's the craziest little tricks we get.
Does have anyone anything you want to add on?
I can ask more questions, but I don't want to put you on the spot. That's all.
Yeah, there's one question.
Sorry, just to reconfirm, so if your Qurbani is not done, you said that you can go and do a Tawaf Ziyarat. Is that
Yes, of course. Yes. So even if your Qurbani is done, but you've not got time to shave your hair, but you want to go do your Tawaf Ziyarat, you could do that.
So basically, Tawaf Ziyarat time starts once you finish from Muzdalifah, Fajr beginning time. Yeah. Now, say for example, you're with the family, yeah, and there's fear that periods might start. So you can actually go from Muzdalifah straight to Makkah and get the family's Tawaf done, and you can do it with them as well.
We've done this before.
Yeah. Is that so? The Tawaf of Ziyarat starts from after Muzdalifah all the way till the 13th after Maghrib time. Any time between these 3 days, you can do Tawaf Ziyarat.
So is that technically even before you have the shaitan?
Yeah, you can even do it even before you do it. Tell the shaitan. But like the Sunnah is not that way. But if there is a fear, or say for example, you've got some health conditions, and you know that your time is limited, and your feet started swelling up, and after 7-8 hours you're not going to be able to walk. You can catch transport, go straight and get your tawaf done first. If you fear that women are going to start their haze and periods, you can go and get your tawaf done first. You can do that. Yeah? Is that clear?
What Mawlana said is very, very important. Remember the word circumstantial. There is a way around most. The point we've got to make here is you'll have so many different opinions around you. There'll be so many different other Hujjaj. Their circumstances will be different to you, but they'll look at your situation and say, no, you're doing it wrong. Your Hajj is not accepted. This is one of the biggest pitfalls of Hajj. Listening to those around you who are giving you advice which is contrary or otherwise to what fiqh is, and then it puts your mind into doubt and you your Hajj. We see it year on year. Mufti Saab will tell you as well, in 2022, we had to, I've still got images of Mufti Saab. He was actually open with his kitab. We were walking from Muzdalifah to Jamarat, opening kitabs and reading. What do we do now? Because Qurbani was part of the packages for Mutawwif at the time. Nobody knew if the Qurbani was done or not, and there was no way to find out because there was no communication. And we had to get to Jamarat. So we're asking ourselves, what do we do? What do we do now? Another example, circumstantial this is, just to highlight of how things can come about. Hajj in 2022 was authorized 3 weeks before Hajj. So 3 weeks before Hajj, the ministry said, right, we're going to accept Hujjaj this year from the UK. So within 3 weeks, everybody had to do their preparations. Now, when you've been put on the spot, again, when you look at health conditions, when you look at the musturat, when you look at women's health, things can change. So we run away to Jamarat, and we were being called by even scholars at the time. What do we do now? We need to get to Haram straight away. We know exactly why. So we were reading around the situation. Okay, how do we work around this? And Mufti Saab was saying, yeah, we've been told this is fine. Go ahead and do this. The point I'm making is, look at your circumstances around you, look at your situation, look at what's practical for you, not always convenient, what's practical for you at the time, and inshallah there's a way around everything, and it will mean that your Hajj is accepted at the same time rather than you putting everything into doubt. So inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for all of you, and if there is any misdirection, guide you in the right direction, inshallah, and be able to do Hajj in the way it should be performed, inshallah.
So he'll start with the light from me. Yeah. One point. I don't think I mentioned this year, but I do every day. All the scholars of Islam have tried to make an argument for Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam doing Hajj Tamattu. When we only did one, yes. Hajj Tamattu, Hajj Qiran, and Hajj Ifrad. Okay, so whatever what we end up with, inshallah, you're doing Amar on the Sunnah. Okay, remember that. Second point, this concept of dying to get out of the Ihram. There's a narration in Tirmidhi Sharif, I had it in my notes, hopefully I'm going to quote it. It says that there's no Muslim who doesn't do anything, right? All you do is stay in the condition of Ihram, except when the sun goes down at Maghrib, yeah, illa ghabat shamsu bidunubihi, it takes the sense of that moment away. See? So if somebody's managed to get away Ihram and saying, I managed to do my Ramy at this time and that, and it happens in conversation, the response to that is, so what? Okay, then so what? See? Just take things easy, inshallah. Most of the time, it's only a matter of a few hours difference. Maximum, one night if things go wrong. There's always backup plans. If you want to get another Qurbani done, it's not a problem. You guys can all afford another 165. Those are just two important points. And inshallah, there's a couple of things that we'll share them about acceptance of Hajj, that we'll share that tomorrow. There's one, and I'm going to carry on with it.
Yeah, so we're just going to finish off now, just in 5 minutes, inshallah. And if you do a second Qurbani, give us some meat to have a barbecue on. So we're going to try and finish that 1/2 past, inshallah. Just before we finish, I just want to go to the slides again. So we're clear about day 3, 10th of Dhul Hijjah, and then 11th of Dhul Hijjah. Yeah? On the 11th and the 12th, there's not much to do. In that period, like I mentioned, in those 3 days, you've got to go do your Tawaf, Tawaf, Ziyarah. On day 4, which is the 11th, Yeah. It's quite clearly written there. It's got both on it, 11th and the 12th. After Zohar, you've got to pelt all three shaitans. Take it easy. Don't go straight after Zohar. Maybe just before Asr or after Asr. If for some reason you get there and Maghrib is done, don't worry. Just carry on doing it. You don't have to, there won't be any implications. If there's some elderly people with you who can't walk or very poorly, etc., you can take them after Maghrib. Yeah? So on the 11th, most of you will be in Mina. Some of you might be in Azizia during the daytime, etc. Please try to spend your nights in Mina. You've got to come on that day, on the 11th, you've got to come and do pelting off all three shaitans. That's the 11th. Similarly, the last day. Now, people normally refer to this as the last day, the 12th. On the 12th, you've got to, once again, pelt all three shaitans. That's where basically, more or less, Hajj is going to finish. So everybody will be in a rush. Just take it easy. Yeah? And just before Asr, after Asr, you go pelt the shaitan, inshallah. And then, inshallah, once you've done your pelting, some of you might go to your hotel in Azizia, some of you might go to your hotels in Makkah. Yeah. You will be leaving. You could possibly be delayed leaving. You might even leave after Maghrib, after Isha. Still, somebody was asking, still, you don't have to do the pelting on the next day. In the Quranic mention, if you want to go another day pelting, you can. That's the 13th. 95, 97% of the Hajjis don't stay for that day. Yeah. But if somebody wants to, or for example, you don't have a hotel, why can't you? Sometimes. And at least you get free accommodation in your tent. So we've done all sorts of Hajj, whilst we were students there in Medina, all types. And when we were students, obviously we couldn't afford hotels. And then Haram, that's the masjid, yeah? So when Mehman or relatives come and they say, Tamariki hotel, now we feel shy saying we don't have a hotel. So Fundukul Haram, Funduk means hotel. Fundukul Haram, because we used to sleep in Haram. They thought Fundukul Haram must be a nice hotel. It is, it's the best. Haram Sharif in itself. I can remember our late husband used to say when we used to sleep in Medina, that where on earth can you get the chance to sleep so close to the Prophet Muhammad? When you sleep in Haram, where would you get the chance to sleep so close to Hazrat Ismail alayhi salam? And even if you have a hotel, try and sleep in Haram sometimes. Not only when you want to get away from whatever, but enjoy it, even if you have a hotel, try and sleep in Haram. And now there's Ruzukhana inside Haram as well. And even though you have a 5-star hotel, sometimes try to go to the public toilets. Yeah, try and use them. And then see how other people what they go through. And then when you go to your 3-star, it'll look like 5-star. Anyway, coming back to the 12th. So most of you will do your pelting and go back. Most of you, I think, would have to walk it. It will be very busy. On road, it will take 5 hours, even more. Yeah, but minimum 3 hours. And it takes an hour to walk it to Makkah. Majority of you will be walking it to Makkah. And when you enter into Makkah, people will be sat everywhere. Sometimes it takes you an hour from Mina to Makkah, meaning just after the tunnel and Safa end. And then from Safa to the other side, Jabal Kaaba, etc., it takes another hour. Just that's the area. So some of you will go to Azizia, some of you will go to Makkah. You'll have a rest. Does anybody intend to stay for the 13th following? If somebody does, then the time starts after Ishraq. Sorry, is it Subh Sadiq or Ishraq?
It's makruh. It's makruh from Subh Sadiq.
It's after Ishraq, after the sun rises. You don't have to wait till Zohar. Yes. And it'll be quite empty. You have all 7 levels to yourself. And that brings you to the end of Hajj. Once you're in Makkah, just before you leave, you have to do farewell without tawaf, which is wajib. If within these days, women start their periods, they don't have to do tawaf with that. That brings us to the end of Hajj. Tomorrow we will cover Medina, inshallah. And tomorrow we will test you on your labbaik as well. Yeah. Entry will only be with a verified labbaik. Yeah, we've got some ihrams. There's a family in Preston, year in, year out, that donate tube ihrams. So I'll give a demo. So make dua for them. Bilal, who's supplied the towel ones this year? Anonymous donors for the towel ihrams as well. You've got both. Oh, where's the bottles? There's some bottles here as well. So basically, can I just show you the tube ihram? I'm just going to show you the tube ihram. I normally use tube ihram. Fadl doesn't. So this is the tube ihram, meaning that it's like a lungi. Yes? So this is like a tube. Can you see it? It goes down like a tube, yeah? It's not been sewn together, it's just been made that way. Yep. And this is the one I normally use, and it's quite easy. Obviously, you don't put it on top of your clothes. Now, how I do it is like this. Yeah, that's 30 years of experience, 40 years of experience, and it's done and dusted within a few minutes. Yeah, and that won't go anywhere. I'm not fast forward the time for you. So basically, I use this one. I like this one. What you do, what I do, you spread, you don't even necessarily have to spread your leg. Like this end, you tuck it in. Yeah? And that's wedged in. Yeah. Similarly here, you tuck it in from here, you tuck it in, and like this. And with the tube, it's stretchy. Yeah? So you can stretch it a bit. And you can tie it. So I normally have 2 knots. Yes? And I tie it like this. And that's not going to go anywhere. Yep. Yeah, even if you pull, it gets tighter. This goes on top, and then you've got your belt on top of that. Extra safety and security. And with this, you don't have to worry that there's no split in between. There's no split. Yeah, so that it doesn't open. Now, this cloth is quite thin. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, in Muzdalifah, it might be cold. No? Right. So at the moment, it's not cold in Muzdalifah, so this will be okay. Same material at the top. So the top piece, you can have it anyway. This is the top piece. And with the top piece, you just have it. What I normally do is this end in the belt, just push it inside the belt here, and this end in the belt here. Yeah? And your hands are wide. That's done. When you want to go for the Tawaf and Istiba, you just do this. Take this one out. Yeah.
For those who are on the bigger side, like me, you can need a bigger size.
Yeah. Now, with the tube, it's just one standard size. Yeah. With the tube ihram, it's just one standard size. Yeah. And I'm just under 6 foot, so you should be okay, most of it. Who would prefer the tube one? And who would prefer the other one?
Brothers, please, one per person, yeah?
Who would prefer none? Rather than who would prefer both?
Take a spare now, just one per person. No
right, so we're done for today, inshallah. And yeah, take one if you need one. Shall we just put tube on one side and the other one's on the other side? So Bilal, is it just one bag of the other one? All right, so just bring the other one here. I will just one bag. Just bring it here, Bilal.
Any questions, brothers? Are you happy with everything? Just go back over the slides.
Go over everything. Any questions?
For
Just before we finish,
HAJJ Kiram,
tomorrow, just a second, bro. Tomorrow, same time, same place, after Asr. We'll definitely have everything wrapped up by 9:30 tomorrow. We could possibly even finish before Maghrib. We don't know. But tomorrow, we might have a 5-10 minute recap of the whole Hajj, or maybe at the end. We'll finish Medina, and then maybe at the end, we'll have a 5-10 minute recap. Now, just before we conclude, this is the blessed one, tried and tested by Mawlana Rashid. Who wants this one? £100. Going, God. Yeah, question.
yeah. So for HAJJ Kiram,
Yes.
are you able to do Tawaf Qudum before actually doing the Umrah before starting Hajj, or is it after we completed?
That would become ifrat, and that's different. The niyat is different. So Qiran is combining Umrah and Hajj together, two ihrams in one. So you have to do the Umrah first, not shave your hair, and do another Tawaf.
No, I get that. What I mean is, the Tawaf Qudum that you are doing for Kiran. Can you do that alongside your Hajj, your Umrah Tawaf? So at least you're doing two. They've been two circuits.
You have to do the Sa'i first. After the Sa'i, you can.
Yeah, you can do that.
You can't do 2 rounds and then 2 Sa'i.
Oh.
So round Sa'i, round Sa'i.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. No, that's fine.
Inshallah.
Just 1 minute and we're finishing, inshallah.
अल्लाह ताला आप तमाम हाजियों की हज को कबूल फरमाए, आसान फरमाए। अभी सब लोग यहाँ से दुआ करना शुरू कर दें। अल्लाह आप लोगों की दुआओं को और पूरी उम्मत के लिए भी दुआ करें। और हमारी जो टीम है, हमारे उवैस है, आदम है, फैजल है, मोहम्मद भाई है, अयूब भाई बख्श है, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह हमें we have to prepare a couple of weeks before. हमारे लिए भी दुआ करें कि अल्लाह हमें भी कबूल फरमाए, आप लोगों को भी इंशाअल्लाह कबूल फरमाए। अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
Jazakallah khair. Barakallahu feekum. So, the few Ihram is in that